Hey guys, this is Dave, and I've got two new IEMs by Moondrop. I've got the Lan 2 ref version and then the pop version. And I actually do still have the original Lan, which I think came out around, two and a half years ago or so. And at the time, I did like the Lan, but I also felt like there were some better options out there around the same price range, like the Ola Base and the Oranos. Now, I did feel like the original Lan was an upgrade over the Chew, but I wasn't convinced that it was still the best option out there at the time. So here we are some 2.5 years later, and this time they're giving us two different tuning options. So if you don't like one, you might like the other, but which one? Well, let's find out. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get started. Okay, so both IEMs are packaged exactly the same way, but the boxes are different colors. Again, the pop version is this dark gray box here, and the ref version is the white box. And they're both priced at 60 bucks. They both have a 10mm driver configuration, and again, the packaging is the same, accessories are the same. They both come with the IEMs and cable, a small carrying case, one type of ear tips in small, medium, and large sizes, a 4.4 to 3.5 adapter because the cable is only available in a 4.4, which is fine for me because I like 4.4, and the cable it's actually good for the price, although it is a little maybe on the thin side. Again, that's fine. It's not really a deal breaker at this price point. It connects to the earpieces via 2-pin connectors. It's very similar and really I think identical to the original cable with the exception of the termination, which on the original has a 3.5 and it uses an angled termination. In any case, cable is good. It certainly gets the job done. And again, I don't mind that it's a 4.4. The build of the IEMs is very good. The faceplate designs are nearly identical. The only difference is that the design is placed towards the top on this pop version here. So this is the pop version, this is the ref version, but this little design on the faceplate is a little more towards the top in the pop version and then towards the bottom on the ref version. And of course, both of these use all metal shells. It feels really robust and well built. It has kind of a matte finish and look to it. I think it looks really nice, and it appears to be the exact same size and shape as the original, which is fine. Again, I liked the original. It's also very comfortable and light with the included large tips. I had no problem getting and keeping a good seal. So for the price, in terms of accessories, the build, the design, the fit, I have no complaints at all. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to sound. Okay, so again, you have two different tuning options, and as the names imply, the ref version here on the right is going to offer a less bassy, more mid-forward reference type of approach to its tuning, while the pop version, which is the one here in the middle, is going to be a little more fun and offer a bassier presentation. It's going to be a little more relaxed in the upper mids. I do prefer the pop version myself, as the ref version is maybe just a little too lean in the bass and is too mid-forward. And also the pop version does fix one of the issues that I had with the original, and that was that I felt it was just a little bass light. So what can you expect in terms of the overall tuning presentation of the ref version? Well, again, it's a little more mid-forward. It's a little more neutral in its overall presentation. So vocals are going to be pushed a little further forward, and the bass levels are going to be more in line with what you might expect with a neutral bass presentation. And while I do prefer the bass levels of the pop version over the ref version, I actually do feel like there is still enough bass presence or bass energy overall in the ref version to balance out the upper mids and treble. So my choice of the pop version over the ref isn't necessarily because I don't think the ref version has enough bass for its tuning approach. I do think its bass energy is appropriate, and it's still going to sound kind of contrasty. I just think the pop version sounds a little more balanced and just a little more engaging. And I also feel like the ref version does do a decent job at presenting instruments and vocals naturally. My only issue is that it can sound a little sharp up top sometimes, which on one hand, it does give it a sense of incisiveness. On the other hand, it can sound, again, a little sharp or edgy, and the energy up top can at times start to become a little too much for me. But in terms of its technical performance, I do feel like it is a step up over the original Lan, and also over the pop version, again, because of the additional brightness up top. So I'm getting a little more in terms of detail, and it just feels a little more open in terms of the dimension and depth compared with the pop version. But again, the pop version is still my favorite. So its tuning approach to the upper mids and treble is very similar to the ref version as far as the general curve. It does reduce the energy in the upper mids and treble a little bit, but again, the curve is actually very, very similar. The most notable difference, of course, again, is in its bass energy. It increases the bass quite a bit over the ref version. So it's going to sound a little more V-shaped compared with the ref. And personally, again, I find this presentation to be a little more palatable because obviously it does up the engagement factor. So it's a little more fun, but it also tames those upper mids and again, that treble just a little. So while you do still have good vocal energy and you've got enough treble energy also to bring a sense of incisiveness and clarity, but it doesn't come across as sounding as sharp. And its presentation is just a little easier, I guess you could say, on my ears. So its presentation is I guess, again, maybe a little softer, although if I'm being honest, even the pop version can at times sound a little sharp. So I don't know if soft is maybe the most accurate description. I guess I should just say it's not as sharp as the ref version. Now, as far as comparisons, the pop version compared with the original, one of the reasons I preferred the Ola bass and Oranos over the original was because they both had a little more bass energy, and they just, again, they relaxed those upper mids, and it just came a little closer to my tuning preference. And now the pop version has the bass energy that I felt the original was missing. On the other hand, I actually think I may prefer the upper mid and treble tuning of the original over the pop and the ref version because it does not strike me as being as sharp. And while the pop version does bring maybe a little more clarity and a sense of detail, I think I actually prefer the top half of the tuning of the original Lan over the pop version. Now, the ref version compared with the original, the ref version is a little closer to the original Lan in its tuning approach than the pop version. However, it's still different enough between the two so that their presentations are distinguishable. The version 2 ref is a little warmer and also has maybe a little more energy up top as well. So a little more upper mid and treble energy, which makes it a little more incisive, maybe a little more detailed, a little bit of a sharpness to it, a little bit of an edginess to it. I do like the bass more on the ref compared with the original, but I definitely prefer the upper mid and treble tuning of the original over the ref. So again, between the ref and the pop, I prefer the pop. But now the question is, how does the pop version compare with some of my current favorites at this price point? So currently, my absolute favorite IEM under $100 is the Delcy AE. And compared with the Lan 2 pop, it's going to bring a little more bass energy. It's going to relax those upper mids a little bit, which I prefer. Although the Lan pop does seem to be giving me better technical performance, but of course I prioritize tuning over technical performance. And to me, the Delcy AE, again, it just sounds a little more natural. And again, I like those relaxed vocals and that additional sub bass that the Delcy AE offers. And the same thing goes for the original Delcy, for the Explorer. Both of these have, again, those same types of differences in their tuning. They relax the upper mids and they add bass, and both of those just come closer to my tuning preference. Now, I did also recently review the Pula Unicron, and the Lan 2 does remind me a lot of that. It follows the same type of tuning curve, and I kind of feel the same way about the Lan 2 pop and ref as I do the Unicron. I do like them, and I think that there will be a lot of hobbyists that will like them. But for me personally, again, the upper mids are just a little too forward, and I'm more likely to reach for something with maybe a little less vocal forwardness, again, like the Delcy or Explorer. So then who would I recommend these to? Well, if you prefer a little more bass with a more relaxed vocal presentation like myself, I think there are better options out there. But if you like a more engaging, more vocal forward presentation with good technical performance, then I think one of these might be a good fit for you. They've also got a pretty simple but cool design. They are very well built. They've got a decent cable, and I think they both just generally offer pretty good value in terms of their overall packaging. So that does it for this review. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you like my content, please take a second and hit that subscribe button. Also, if you would please like this video, please share this video. I hope you have an awesome day.